cracking? It is your girl, Lillian Francis. Welcome to my series, How I Made This, in which I break down my tracks and explain how they were made. Today, we're gonna be looking into my newest track, Anything For You. This is one that I started in 2021. So y'all, it has been a long time coming. Forever, this one was kind of finished, but not all the way finished, but I kept coming back and listening to it over and over, and it had this like spark of energy and delight that I was really addicted to. And so I kept coming back to it even though I never felt like it was finally ready. And then finally I was like, you gotta fucking finish this thing. And so I did! And then here it is. Without further ado, let us dive right in. Splash! All right, fam, welcome to my Proj. There she is in all of her glory. So many tracks, oh, so many tracks, yeah. Let's just first look at the layout, how this is organized. I've got all my not vocals grouped and all my vocals grouped. And this is because I actually have a sidechain compressor on my not vocals group that is getting audio from my vocals. And so every time my vocals come through, the instrumental comes out a little bit. And that just allows my vocals to stay on top. Within not vocals, we have drums and bass. So I got my drums. I have live drums. We'll talk about that. I got bass. I got some MIDI. I got my guitar. I have more guitar. I have more guitar. I have more guitar. And then I have this audio group. And then I have my vocals. And I have my vocals. And then I have some backup singers, Danny and Sid, who are on this track as well. So let's start with the drum, guys. This is the first time I've ever recorded live drums, and it was really intimidating. I've been producing music for 9 years now, and I like kind of the feeling of knowing what I'm doing, right? I'm like, finally gotta get what I'm doing, you know? And then to like have to relearn how to do things and how to edit and EQ and compress and record live drums was a lot, but I had some help from friends and we got it all to work out in the end, but it was a long process. And that's one of the reasons that kept me from actually releasing this for so long, is because I just was having a hard time conceptualizing recording live drums and finding a place that would record them and etc. etc. But like most things, thinking about doing it is harder than actually doing it. And once I actually just did it, actually it was harder than I expected, to be honest. But next time I record drums, I think it will be a lot easier than the first time. So this is a little bit tricky. I actually started by producing all of the drums, and I really liked the verse drums. But then when it came to the chorus, I just could not program them well enough for the amount of energy that I needed for the chorus and in the drums. And I knew that just a live performer could play it so much better. So my friend Nick has a studio. He had me over there and his buddy Gabe played on the drums. So bless up to them. And we were able to record live drums for the chorus. I ended up taking out the kick and the sub kick and the snare and ended up replacing those hits with samples because I wanted to have more consistency throughout my song, because again, I was using the programmed drums in the verse, and then switching over to fully live drums for the chorus just sounded too disjointed. So I ended up replacing the snare and the kick hits with samples. And the way I did that was simply by right clicking my clip and hitting convert drums to new MIDI track. And then it did its best to extract the information, and you can see that the snare, I mean, I don't know where it's finding this kick or these hi-hats, but you can delete those, and the snare is in. There we go. And you can see that it's now lined up. So, you know, even if the snare here is a little bit off, when I put in the samples, those samples are going to line up with all of the other drums and the other things that have snare bleed in them. They'll like be more cohesive, you know? So you can see that I just have those MIDI clips that I created from the convert drums to new MIDI track here. Sick. Those are the drums. There's nothing too exciting about it. Let's see, we have these weird dingle dupes. Whoa, holy shit, we got a lot of processing on that. Auto pan, compression. We got redux and hybrid reverb. And really, this is just adding like a fun little texture underneath. And I would do anything, You can really only hear it with headphones. Sneaky. Okay, shut the door. So those are our drums. Now let's look at the bass. Okay, I did record the bass live. Wow, she plays bass too. I can play 2 notes on the bass. Check this out. Originally, I had programmed in the bass, but then we had a bass in the studio where we were recording the drums, and so I ended up just recording a bass line for it, and it all ended up working out. In terms of processing, I should have a little bit of compression, a relatively kind of medium to long attack, kind of letting those initial peaks go through, these little guys, and then pulling it back down.
Make spaceship fractal day trip fall.
And that's just to give it a little bit more of snap, a little bit more of attack at the beginning. I've got some distortion over here. This is a kilohertz distortion. Love her. We got a little fab filter here, and it looks like we're just boosting some frequencies that we liked, more kind of like the snappy part of the bass up here, I assume. Taking a lot of these mids here. I guess just to subdue it a little bit. And then another transient shaper to get a little bit more attack, and some R-Bass, which is a great distortion plugin by Waves. Wow, actually I have intensity turned down here. That's honestly how intense R-Bass is that negative values still work. Just getting a little bit more crunch out of her. Oh, whoa, and I have a shit ton more on the group, but holy fuck. What am I doing here? Okay, I have a guitar pedal on here. Wow, okay, I got pedal, I got amp, I got cabinet. Okay, let's go. Yeah, making her nice and crunchy. Okay, cool. I got some sidechain compression to the kick. We got this auto filter that's kind of opening and closing in different areas. Let's see what she's doing. Oh, just for the intro.
When you look me in the iris.
Oh, there's a kink in my neck, y'all. Okay. And then what do we have here? Oh, a little bit of reverb. Show automation. Just probably a splash of reverb. Probably. Oh, okay. Convolution reverb, not here. Hypothetically, I had convolution reverb at one point. It was probably just a little bit to give it like a little puff of smoke, I think of it. When you have like a little bit of reverb with anything under like a 500 millisecond decay tail for your verb. And instead of like making it this long washout thing, it just makes it kind of bleed just a little bit into the background. So just like a little bit more expanded. And that's about it. That's the bass, friends. Next, I have this MIDI group, and it looks like I just have one little Mellotron choir instrument here. Kind of just a filler frequency, honestly, to just kind of like beef it up. This is a instrument by Sidebrain, who is my Ableton teacher and an absolute fucking homie. Shout out. He sells a lot of his instruments that he makes, and this is a really cool one. Just a little bit of Haas delay on it, some slight EQ, just bringing the highs out to the side and cutting some of the mids down the middle to just kind of keep things nice and clean and organized.
And I will do anything for you. And I will do anything.
Right, kind of adds an ethereal vibe too. All right, guys, this is the real juice of the whole fucking track, y'all. It is our guitars. And this song actually started because of a kind of morning guitar looping session that I had. I play guitar every single morning. That is what I do. I wake up in the morning, I do my morning pages, I make my coffee, I play my guitar, I play around my looping pedal, and then I do a sound gym, sound ear training exercises, etc. Thanks for asking. But on this one particular morning, I ended up stacking a loop that sounded like this. Or if we take off all of the processing and all of the shit ton of distortion. And I heard that and I was like, I just felt this magic. Like it was just building and wanting to go somewhere. And I got so stoked on it that day. I remember looping it and then just being like so stoked out. I cannot handle this song. This song is giving me all the energy. This song has got the stuff for me. It's got the stuff. Oh! Anyways, the point of this is that I had this initial spark of inspiration. I recorded it in my computer, and then I started kind of building the whole beat around it. So this chorus and the guitars is everything for the song.
And I would do it.
Oh, it sounds so bad without the distortion.
And I would do anything for you.
And there are a couple little noodles here and there.
Into your matrix. When you stare me in the eyelids. When you stare me in the eyelids.
Ba-ba.
Daydream, restful, waking, hit.
Cute. And finally, we have this little bridge section, which is just a bunch of stacked guitars. We got some reverse guitars bringing it into the bridge guitars. Oh, it sounds so good.
Anything for you. Time's a funny thing when it gets close to you.
Oh, I love that. And these are all just different voicings of the same chord. Oh, the cool thing about this one is I was using Retrofy, which is an absolutely majestic plugin by Waves, and it retrofies everything. And so it sounds really good on the guitars because it's like wobbly and like, ooh, it's just such a vibe. Listen without. It definitely pushes it to the back, but in a desirable way. And I love the wobble on this thing. Where's my wobble? Wobbly, wobbly, wobble, wobble. So that's like really intense. Let's just undo that. So it's a little bit of wobble on the guitars, but only for the bridge. Sounds so fucking good. All right, y'all, this is where the real fucking fun is happening. There is so much audio fuckery in this song. I'm serious. This audio is fucking around, bro. So I have all these guitar embellishments. Also, hair day today. Hair alert. Hair alert. Okay, great. All right, so what is in these embellishments? Let's give her a listen real quick. Ugh, so fucking cool. All right, here's how this happened, friends. What I did is I put a Pitch Loop 89, my favorite fucking plugin. This is a Max for Live device. Throw this bad boy on the guitars, okay? And then what I did is I created a new audio track, set my input to resampling, arm this bad boy, and then I'm just gonna solo the guitar. And now what we're gonna do is I'm going to just turn the dry wet knob of my Pitch Loop 89 to 100%. And then as I am playing the track and it's going through Pitch Loop 89, I'm just gonna change the settings here. And by the way, Pitch Loop 89 is like a granular synthesis delay kind of situation. I don't know, you can do lots of fun things with it. I made a whole video on how to use it. I'll link it somewhere around here. But go ahead, start recording, and then as you record, you're just gonna noodle the knobs, okay? Yeah, that's the situation, guys. So you can come up with all these really cool, fun audio textures and unexpected sounds. And then you're left with like a million possibilities to chop it up and reverse it and repitch it and move it here and move it there and throw other audio effects on it. Like, I spent forever doing this in this project, and this is what I came up with, right? All these cool little audio blips. If I just drag one of these out, you can hear what I had created. Yeah, and that's how essentially then I just chopped it up and just had a lot of fun with it and came up with this. Anyways, so much fun. This just adds such a cool flavor. And I actually did something really bad here. Well, not bad, just not like poppy. It's just a straight up instrumental. I don't have any vocals here. And then I also had a lot of fun automating momentary effects on this guy. So there are certain sections where it like jumps out at you or it gets like really creakily and distorted. For this area, for example, I had this like really low version coming in, which is just this kilohertz pitch shifter happening. And that's getting brought in as a parallel process because we have this in a rack. So I'm always hearing the dry version, but just on certain sounds, I'm hearing this low pitch shifted version. And this comes in a little bit later too. I also have this redux being automated. Let's show automation here. Yeah, so like this little guy is gonna get crunchy. Yeah, so cool. As this crunch layer. Oh, and it sounds like it's like coming out at you. I love that. Such a fun way to mix things up and give your sound some variation and movement over time. Other cool things I did here. Let's see, I also automated this redux. Where did I? Oh, yeah. On some of these guys. And the difference between this redux and this redux is this one's being brought in as a parallel process, right? So I'm always going to hear the dry version as well as the redux version. But this redux is just a serial process, which means there is no dry signal. When I pull this all the way down, there's no like dry signal behind it. Yeah, listen to that in context. Yeah, fuck yeah, brother. What else we have here? We have the width being automated at the same time that the redux is coming down on these guys. So we are getting this like coming at you. Yeah, fuck yeah. So yeah, that's the embellishment. That's where all the cool stuff happens. All right, moving on from guitar embellishments, let's look into audio. These are just the things that like aren't synths. What do we have? Oh, I have this like panting dog. Lord knows how I made that. No idea what that is. Synth chord. I don't know how she came to be, but she sounds cool. Love that. I got these sweepy birds. I got oomph. Again, this is like I wonder if it was like a chord and then, oh, it's pitched up. Let's pitch it down. Following the trail. We got the beats warp mode on. Oh, I bet it's something really stretched. Oh yeah, 262 BPM. I probably stretched it. So without stretching. Cool, unfortunately that actually does not tell me anything more. We tried. Anyways, just know I love chopping audio. Bitch loves to chop audio.
To me, tonight, I would do anything.
Oh, where is that like? Rawr? Oh, I bet I just did a pitch bend on this thing. Let's look into one of my envelopes. Clip. Transposition. Correct. I did do a pitch bend. Ooh, we love that. Adding a little pitch bend on a riser just doubles the fun. Sick. Okay, watch this other sound though. Oh, I think it's this one. You know what this is? I'm like 99% sure that this is a howl of a coyote from a Yellowstone sample that I downloaded. Anyways, I took that and I just dragged it, stretched the shit out of it, and then that became... Yeah. Very cool, very tight. So anyways, that was my audio. I guess this just leaves us with the vocals. I do all my vocal editing really in a separate project. I mean, I do my like parallel processes in here, which if you want to see my parallel processes. So I have my vocal reverb. I have this D shimmer up, which is like a Haas delay, but with a filter on it essentially. I've got a slap delay, which is just a delay with like 104 to 114 milliseconds.
Melting seashore, waves to explore, got me fading, begging for more.
That was at all the send, but if we just do a little bit of send, like -15,
when I'm standing on your island,
it just creates this really nice width around it. And then I think that's it. Oh, here's the shimmer reverb.
When I'm standing on your island, melting seashore, waves to explore.
And because we have two different delay times on either one of these, we have a Haas delay effect, which creates width for our vocals. It's just getting our vocals to be bigger.
When I'm standing on your island, melting seashore, waves to explore, got me fading, begging for more.
And you can can see I have 3 different vocals here, just one main done in the center and then a couple small ones off to the left and the right, just to give it a little bit more texture and a little bit more bigness. Oh my goodness. And then I have so many vocals on the chorus. I have a shit ton of these guys.
And I would do anything for you.
Which are just nice, fun little harmonies. But then I also added in my friend Danny, who's fucking phenomenal.
And I would do anything for you.
And my friend Sid, who's another amazing musician.
And I would do anything for you.
And all together, ladies.
And I would do anything for you. And I would do anything for you.
Truly bitching. Now let's just check it with and without our parallel processes, okay? Just gonna turn them on and off.
And I would do anything for you. And I would do anything for you.
Oh my God, the reverb and the shimmer and the slap delay, it sounds so good together. I did a full video breaking down how I parallel process my vocals, so if you want to check it out, it's somewhere around. I wanted to have so much energy in the chorus, like really like, and I would do anything for you. I wanted to be so fucking punk rock, which is LOL because I'm like, this is honestly very different from anything I've ever produced, but I really wanted it to get screamy, and it's really hard for me to hit that note. And I would do anything for you. Like, oh God. It's really hard for me to hit that note without breaking into a head voice, and that's also why I called in backup. But y'all, this is what it sounds like, me screaming. It's like so strained, but actually sounds okay, but it's like, it's tucked in there. But I feel like it adds this like, this energy. And the song is about like that kind of always giving love. And when you have a love for someone where you would just do anything for them, and whether that's a romantic love, a family member, best friend, etc. I am such a spoiler. Like if I love somebody, I just want to give. I want them to be happy. I want them to be so cared for and so fucking spoiled. And I'm always thinking about how I can give to people and make people's lives easier. I believe very strongly in people don't remember what you say, but how you make them feel. And when people are with me, I want them to feel so loved and taken care of and seen. And that is what this song is about. Just, I would do anything for you. So that is the whole fucking track, y'all. I hope that you've enjoyed this breakdown of it. I hope you learned something new and interesting, and you got some like fun little tricks and techniques up your sleeve. And if you would like, you can go ahead and stream that song. It's on Spotify and YouTube and all the places that you get your music. I don't know why I winked. I just kind of can't help myself sometimes. All right, guys, this has been enough shenanigans for today. I will see you next time. Later. I will see you next time. Goodbye.